Hello, my starseed children. It is Tanisha from Tanisha Tantrika and Tarot, and I am here for you Sagittarius moon and risings in Vedic or Jyotish astrology quarterly reading of 2019. Now, as I said before, in Jyotish, aka Vedic astrology, Eastern astrology, Indian astrology, whatever you want to call it, the most important signs in your chart, or the most important planets or aspects in your chart, is your moon and your rising. Unlike Western, where the sun is probably the thing that is mostly focused on, in Jyotish, the moon and your rising sign are the most important aspects in your basically in your chart. And so I have decided to focus on that. Now, I have a little 1-minute tutorial on how to find your rising and your moon sign in Vedic astrology coming up. And the reason why I'm doing Vedic is not because I don't like Western. I love Western astrology. It's amazing. But my practice in Vedic astrology is, it feels like it gives you more in depth. I kind of like to combine the two. But in the case of my tarot readings, I'm going to focus more on the Vedic. Vedic, the way it works, it's usually about 23 degrees behind Western. That's because Vedic actually measures the sun in the constellation it's actually in, whereas Western somehow projects. I haven't never figured out why, but it projects the sun to be in the next sign versus or the next constellation versus the actual constellation is in at the time of birth. So for you who are new to Vedic, I hope you get to enjoy it. But this is for my Sagittarius moon and rising in Vedic astrology. I myself am a Sag rising, so I know. So stay tuned for this tutorial. So you want to go to astro.com. And once you get to astro.com, you want to click on Extended Chart Selection under Horoscopes. And then once you do that, you want to enter your birth information. So I already have mine entered in because I have an account. But as you see, here's my birth information. And once you do that, you want to hit on natal chart, or natal chart in transit is what I usually go to because it shows you where the planets are on the day you choose here. And then you want to go to the house system and click on whole signs, because in Vedic it's whole signs. It's not this the abbreviated whole signs or whole houses, excuse me. It's not this abbreviated houses where the houses are cut. They go by whole houses. You want to click on Sidereal. Then you want to click on Hindu Lahiri chart. And then click here to show the chart, okay? And this will give you your Vedic chart mock-up. And you will notice the difference. There's a 23-degree difference from Vedic and Western. In Vedic astrology, it's true to the actual, it traces the sun true to the actual constellation it is in. If you notice in Western, the constellation the sun is in, when we are saying it's in one constellation, is actually in the constellation before, whereas Vedic is in the true constellation of at the moment for the sun. Okay, so for example, in Western, I was born as an Aries, but in Vedic, I'm born in Pisces, the constellation of Pisces, which is my true constellation. All right, my loves, now that you know how to find your moon and your ascendant, let's get started. So my Sagittarius babies, this is a journey reading. It's going to tell you basically what you're taking in, or what you're starting off with at the second quarter of 2019. So that's from May, June, July, and August, and what's going on. Now I will give you some aspects of planetary transits during this time period, just a few, because I have created a Patreon page, and if you become one of my patrons at a certain tier, that tier will provide you with all of the planetary transits during that quarter, with the reading and an extended reading version as well. So I'm only going to give you a few. Like for example, we have a total solar eclipse on July 2nd, and that is going to be in Gemini, which if you are a Sagittarius moon or rising, because with Jyotish, sometimes what you can do with the moon sign, like you can start your first house where your moon is versus where your ascendant is. So you can see this at any way. It's going to be the same houses if you look at your ascendant as your first house or your moon as your first house. And that is going to be in your sixth house. So your solar eclipse, the total solar eclipse and new moon on July 2nd in Gemini is going to be in your sixth house, which basically will be focusing on your physical health, your physical work environment, so your actual job where you are. This is also the house of hidden enemies. So you might be finding some people you thought were your friends maybe coming to the surface and showing their true colors. Also, I find maybe you might have a job move. You might be moving your job. You might be changing your job. I think with this though, it's not really changing your job, but maybe your job is going to move to a new space or something like that. So be prepared for that. But yeah, you will find some very interesting things happening around July 2nd. And then the other planetary happening is there will be a partial lunar eclipse on August 15th in Capricorn, which is your second house. And so when it comes to the full moons, of course, this is where we are receiving things. So the new moon is when you're releasing. The full moon is when you're receiving. So don't be surprised if if you don't get a raise at work, because the second house represents the money that you make through your own efforts. And so perhaps you might get a raise, perhaps a new venture may come into play where you're making extra money that you weren't expecting. Also, I would say second house, maybe your childhood home, something may happen there, maybe a renovation. But, expect some changes, some shifts. And with this eclipses, they say that the eclipses last from eclipse to eclipse. So from the solar eclipse to the next solar eclipse, so that's the time period, it's usually about 6 months. And from the lunar eclipse to the next lunar eclipse, so that it'll be spanned in that time period. Also, this weekend is Beltane, which is the pastoral summer for the Celts. So imagine some beautiful things happening then, because they say during Samhain and Beltane is when there's a thin veil between this world and the next. So some visitations may take place during this time period for you. And there's a new moon in Aries on May 4th. So expect some releasing of some things, okay? And that new moon is, like I said, it's in Aries according to Vedic, okay? So you're gonna be releasing some things, maybe some anger, rage, some pent-up things that have been happening to you, maybe some ideas that you have about your own self-image and your body. So be prepared to just be moving forward in your life for the next few months. So let us begin this reading. So the first card that I pulled for you at the beginning of your journey in this second quarter is the Emperor. So I love how the Emperor has his bull next to him. So the Emperor represents masculine energy that is very much on the manifesting plane. So the Emperor is a manifester. The Emperor also creates stability and law, society. The Emperor is, I call the Emperor like Saturn. The Emperor, put things into place, where it's routines, where, like I said, law. It's also a masculine energy that is wealthy, that has abundance, that understands abundance. Lack is not a part of its domain, okay? So with this, I think what's happening is you may be finding yourself going into the new quarter feeling pretty secure in your work or your career, or maybe you started a business, because the Emperor is also a business owner too. So I mean, he's no one's lackey, this guy, right? And so you may be going in feeling very secure. You finally given up your lack mentality, and you're just kind of going in, working hard, steady as she goes. And maybe That's where you are starting. Okay. Now, I would also say too with this, perhaps you are feeling like hard work is what pays off with this Emperor card, and that's true. But there's a balance between hard work and trusting the universe to provide as well. And so the Emperor also understands and trusts that the universe will provide. Your companions for this journey is very interesting to me because I pulled two air animal creatures. And when I talk about the companions for the next 4 months, what I'm saying is these are totems. These are animal totems that you can channel or emulate for your journey to make your journey, a little bit easy for you. And the first one I pulled was hawk, and I wanted to open it up in the book so I can read a little bit about what the hawk is or what it represents. Usually the hawk represents, seeing things from a higher perspective, right? So it's saying watchful, all-seeing, messenger of divinity, right? The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly, though. It may seem small or insignificant. It will eventually redirect your course. So this is about your intuition, so this is where you tap into your intuition, but also tap into seeing things from a higher perspective. So the Emperor is usually pretty mundane. And what I mean by mundane, he's very solidly connected to this earthly plane. And I think this is where you are. But the universe is saying to you that I really want you to go a little bit higher. I want you to go a higher place and see the bigger picture, see things from a higher perspective so that you can make even better moves that won't require you to sacrifice everything just to have what you want and work so hard until you work yourself into the ground and you can't even experience the joy of having it. But to know where to work hard and where to go with the flow, right? So if you're flying high and you're looking low, you see everything. You can see your pit stops, your road bumps, your divots. You can see your mountains, you can see your valleys. And so this is seeing things from a higher perspective so that you can make better choices for your life, right? Okay, and then the next one, actually the swan is not air, actually. I think the swan it's actually water, believe it or not. Because it floats on water. The swan floats on water. And I kind of like reading from the books because the books, I think, when you read from the book and what the author intended for these, it tends to help you understand more of what I'm saying, because I can have my own interpretation, but sometimes the author's interpretation sparks something in you. So the swan is effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. So again, effortlessly, okay? Because see, the emperor had worked very hard to get where he is, and now he's sitting on his throne. But you want it to be effortless. You know what I mean? Like, you do want to work hard. I'm not saying that because some people feel like, oh, if I just sit here, things will come to me. No, you got to put in some elbow grease, right? But what you don't want to do in our, like we have in the West, in particular in our societies, is we just run ourselves down. We run our bodies down. We don't take care of ourselves because we believe that in order to get somewhere, we have to overwork. We have to do 60 hours a week. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this says the swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. So I also think what this is saying too is that, find creative solutions for whatever you are needing to do, instead of just being very very like looking at things one way, just one way. Well, this is how it's always been done, so this is how I'm going to do it. Find some creative solutions for doing things, which will make the journey less stressful for you. And the reason why I say that is because one of the things you need to surrender is stress. And so I'll get back to that in a minute. Okay, so finding creative solutions for any things that may pop up problems or work situations, listening to your divine voice, listening to your inner self, seeing things from the higher perspective, seeing the bigger picture versus point, because when we focus on something and we focus on it and we focus on it and and it drives us nuts and we can't figure out how to untangle ourselves, it's because we're not seeing everything from a higher perspective of the bigger picture. So your advice for this this quarter starts off with take a break. I could not have pulled these cards on purpose, right? Take a break. So again, I'm hearing that you, Sagittarius, Moon and Rising, you need to slow down a little bit. Stop running yourself down. Take some time to relax and release and to see things from a higher perspective so you could create effortless effortless solution to your problem. So it says a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So understand that you don't have to be in a hurry to get things done, but take your time so that one, you can do things correct the first time and you don't have to go back and redo it. And two, it gives you the opportunity to discover something new in what you're doing. So, some things we stumble upon when we're taking our time, okay? The kids, we stumble upon the cute little cottage in the woods. We're taking our time instead of rushing ahead, right? The other thing it says, the other advice is the snake. Shed old skin. The snake always represents transformation. And so I feel like in this season, the other thing that's happening is you're letting go of ideas or cultural norms or societal norms or subcultural norms that tells you that you need to be a certain way or act a certain way in order to have success. No, absolutely not. Most truly successful people don't follow anyone else's blueprint but their own. And I feel like this is a time for you to follow your divine blueprint versus the blueprint that's been set out there saying that you have to do this, and this to find success, because no one, and I mean no one who is truly successful has ever followed anyone's blueprint but their own. Okay, so shedding off these ideas of who you are, shedding off these ideas of what you need to do or be in order to be a success, to be the emperor. Okay, follow your own compass. Okay, Spirit Awakens. So you're getting 2 transformational cards. And the snake also is like the Kundalini energy. We all have that Kundalini awakening where our divine feminine and our intuitive power rises up within us, okay? And we're aware. So this says, Spirit Awakens. I embrace my soul purpose. What did I say? Follow your own blueprint. And align all aspects of my life to it fully. Follow your own blueprint, okay? Follow your own blueprint. And then to continue, this says to surrender stress. For the next quarter, your work is to surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. Now, what I love about this, it talks about your body, because we carry trauma and stress in our bodies. And it shows up emotionally, we having emotional meltdowns, but our bodies will tell us what is going on. In fact, the Emperor is very much embodied. That's what I love about the Emperor. Look how earthy he is. This person is very much in tune with its body, in tune with what it feels, okay? He's in tune, he or she. This can also be the Empress, okay? They are in tune. So don't ignore your body. If you are tired, take a break. Don't keep pushing. Don't keep pushing. Take the break that you need when your body tells you to. Because when you push, what happens is you diminish what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, and then the next one, I love this. It says, surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. Okay, so basically, bring yourself to the party. Stop trying to be someone else. Bring who you are. Now, the one thing I forgot to do, and I do apologize, is I really wanted to. I need to pull 2 cards for the Emperor to kind of clarify who the Emperor represents, and then if I need to go back and clarify my statements from before, because I was only looking at the Emperor by itself, then I will do so. So give me a second. I'm sitting here shuffling. I do apologize for that. My brain gets all excited when I do these readings, and so I skip a step. Okay, so let's do that. So let's see what cards we got here. Ooh. Oh. Look at, man, you got all the arcanas and stuff. You got the major arcana, so you got the Chariot. Okay. And the Lovers. Something tells me some of you will be moving. Some of you have found your soulmate and you're moving. But also the Lover card here with the Emperor can also mean, well, it can mean 2 things. It can mean the Emperor is your soulmate and you're moving towards your soulmate, like you're leaving where you are, where you're comfortable, and you're moving to be with that person. Or it can also mean with the Lover's card that this is a business partnership, okay, that is creating wealth for the both of you. And so you may be finding yourself moving, and you're moving quickly. And what I love about the Chariot card in this particular deck, to me, it always represents someone moving to another country. Okay, like you're moving away to another place. And so this would be beautiful, especially if some of you will find love this season, okay? And you find yourself packing your bags up and exploring that space, and you're leaving and you're like, you know, love is good, love is real, and I really want to experience love, okay? And you're just moving on. In some cases, it just means that you have found a very solid business partner. To work with, okay? And so I want you to be aware, again, if it's love or if it's not, if it's love or if it's business, effortlessness. See things from a bigger picture. Let go of your control of how you think things should be, okay? Especially with this hawk and the swan. The hawk ain't trying to be in control. The hawk is just flying out and looking down and seeing what it sees and going with the flow, and when it sees what it needs, it dives and gets it, okay? And the swan, you know, it's so funny. The swan on the surface looks effortless, but you don't know underneath the water. It's just pedaling its feet, pedal, 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 pedal. And so, and the swan is a very beautiful, effortless, looks like it's effortless creature, okay? And I think what that also means to me as well with the swan is that do the necessary work that needs to be done on the front end. So prepare your foundation. Make sure your foundation is very solid with whatever it is you're building, whether it's a relationship or a business or a career. Make sure the foundation is solid. And the way you know the foundation is solid, like I said, is to really drop down into your intuition and your divineness and your true self. Not the self that you present to the world because you think that will make you acceptable, but who you truly are. It is time for you to shed your fictions. And what I mean by your fictions, in psychology, they would say your ego. Okay, so, and it's not saying get rid of your ego. It's saying drop it, like let it go. Don't let it be the master of your life. You're supposed to master the ego, okay? So that means letting go of your fictions, okay? Letting go of these stories or these characters or these roles you decided to step in to play in this lifetime, and just be who you truly are. That's surrendering to the magic of who you really are, okay? Because you were born to be who you are because the world needs who you are and not who you're pretending to be. All right, so I hope that helps there. And then we're going to move on here. I'm moving my camera. Okay, so then what you're coming out of this cycle with is the white buffalo calf woman, the prophetess of the sacred way. I cannot, like I said, I could not pull these cards on purpose. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. My heart is a compass. So you will come out of this place really, truly listening to your inner compass, your inner self, who you truly are. I'm going to keep saying that. I feel like that's the message that I need to give the world today is be you. Not who people say you should be, not who you think you should be, but be you, who you are. Okay? Then your last bit of advice is creativity again. So something is telling me that there is a creative solution to whatever problem may be cropping up for you in this moment. For some of you, you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going crazy. What do I need to do to fix this issue? And the universe is saying, oh, be creative. So it says, call your spirit home by following your creative passions. If you're having difficulties connecting to your creative flow, try meditating on your chakras, especially the sacral. If you're drawn this card, you've probably been getting nudges to try a new hobby or pursue some sort of out-of-the-box path. It's time to connect with the divine and manifest your abundant ideas into your physical reality, which is the Emperor. Take action towards your goals today, whether it be a personal or business goal. Y'all, listen. I swear to you, the universe is funny. I shuffle the hell out of these cards and I just pull, and they always go together. Now, I've been doing this for years, and you would think by now I wouldn't be in awe of how this works, but I am always in awe at the flow of the divine, okay? So you will be coming out. You'll be ending this journey with the Nine of Cups. I love the Nine of Cups because I call this your wish is my command. And I feel like you start off with this, this kind of like solid, like everything must be a certain way. And then you come out with, all I have to do is ask the universe for what I want, open my arms and my heart, and receive it. You come out of this quarter understanding that if you want something, all you have to do is ask for it. That doesn't mean you don't work. I want you to understand this not like a magic bullet, okay? Doesn't mean you don't have to work, but you don't have to work as hard as you believe you need to work, okay? All you need to do is ask, and the universe will open the doors to get you to where you need to go. And in some cases, it'll just give it to you, okay? Let me shuffle my deck again and pull 2 more cards to clarify that last card before we end this beautiful, beautiful reading. My Sag Moons and Risings. Sag Moons and Risings. And one last shuffle. Sag, it just seems like you're going to be having a really good season if you really relax and lean into it. Look at that. What did I tell you? Offers from the universe. Yep. So in order for you to get that offer from the universe, these are all cups. You must walk away from something. You must walk away from something. I love this little hand here. That isn't serving you anymore. Let it fall. Let the house fall and walk away. Okay? So some of you are actually walking away from something that has been very painful for you, but you're like, and you've built it. Whatever it is, you built it strong. And you're like, oh my God, but I spent so much time building this. And the universe is saying to you, it's okay. Let it go, because I have something even better for you. So for some of you, you may be, yes, following heart at the beginning of this, chasing someone you believe is your true soulmate, and it may not end how you think. Okay, that may be a possibility. For some of you, you're leaving an actual relationship and you're stumbling upon your soulmate, but you have to leave something that is familiar to you in order to get something better and newer from the universe. Because look at this. This is an offering. This is a cup. So this is an offering of love. This is an offering of joy and bliss. And it's coming straight from the heavens. Okay? And so maybe some of you have been asking the universe to fill your love cup, to fill your passion cup. And the universe was like, but first you must let go maybe a belief that you're not lovable. Maybe a belief that what you want doesn't exist in the world. Maybe you need to let go of some past pain and hurt in relationships in order for you to receive this beautiful hunka cup of love from someone. Okay? But the universe is letting you know at the end of this quarter, you get to the place, all you need to do is ask and then be willing to receive what you asked for. This is beautiful. So Sag, my little Sag Moon babies and Sag Rising babies, I hope that this reading is helps you provide some clarity for you going into this this second quarter of this year. I can't believe we're already in the second quarter. Let's start there. How are we already in the 5th month of this year, right? But I'm looking forward to hearing all the beautiful things that will take place for you. If you would like to become one of my patrons, I put the link to my Patreon page down in the description box. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram and become a subscriber of this beautiful channel. If you're already a subscriber and you're returning, I want to thank you for the bottom of my heart for supporting me and my vision and believing in what I'm doing here. And if you're not a subscriber yet and you just happen to stumble upon me, hi, I'm Tanisha. Go ahead and press that little red button down there and then hit the notification bell so you can get my uploads. And I really appreciate you all. And I look forward to hearing your comments and reading your comments and hearing what you have to say about these readings. But until the next time, I want to say goodbye and have a great day. Mwah.